This your boy Bryant, the Apex Gamer channel. Thank you for clicking my video. If you want to show your support for the channel, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Click that little bell icon, and more gaming content coming to you in the future. Peace. What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Bryant, the Apex Gamer channel, and you're coming to you live. I'm coming to you live from the practice mode. As you can tell from the backdrop and the scene set is that I'm in the practice mode. Now for this particular video, what I'm trying to encourage players to do is more so to learn your character from a cellular level. Pay attention to the finite microscopics with your fighters. And a lot of people play with Robbie Lawler, and that's why I wanted to start off with Robbie Lawler. Because a lot of people pick him and a lot of people do a lot of crazy shit with him and get crazy knockouts. Now he is a really buff character, and you can just kind of, the way the game is set up, there's a lot of things that work that shouldn't work. Like you can smash over top of strikes with overhands after taking strikes, you know, just little things like that that people do online that you see a lot of. But Robbie Lawler can be a very methodical character, and if you were to be methodical with him, he will be an absolute nightmare. So if you're looking at your fighters from a cellular perspective, you're looking at them from the microbes of who they are. You're looking at their perks, their stats. Robbie Lawler has high hand stats. He has high left hand stats. He has perks that would allow him to get rocks and knockdowns faster. His perks are set up for rocks, knockdowns, and his strikes are set up to be more hand focused. He does have a really good rear leg high kick stat, and his rear leg high kick has a high move level. Now we're going to talk about move levels in this particular video. We're not going to break down more finite details. Like later in the future, I plan to do videos that break down knowing your opponent as well, because some of these things, some of these intangibles actually have an effect on your opponent as well. If you know your opponent's body stat, head stat, chin stat, leg stat, stamina, and toughness, you know, those what they call athleticism stats in this game. If you know their athleticism stats, you know how susceptible they are to different things. And a lot of people don't know a lot of things about the different characters they play as or play against. It's really hard to, it's one of those things, like you have to go through the move list and look at every stat of every person and kind of prepare yourself for the matchup. And if you prepare yourself for the matchup, you're going to have the most lucrative opportunities, because a lot of players in the game don't realize that a lot of fighters have higher body stats, higher body health than they have chin health. So a lot of people go body hunting on characters that take more damage to the body. Like Robbie Lawler has a really good body health stat, so if you go body hunting on him, you got to land a four strike combo to rock him, as opposed to if you go body hunting somebody like Amari Akhmedov. I think like Amari Akhmedov has a really low body stat, so if you go out there and start body hunting him, it's not going to take long before you do him a whole bunch of damage and put him in a really bad situation. So he has a lower body stat. But I'm going to talk about that in a later video. This particular video, like I said, is about the move levels. I took long enough in the opening section of explaining what I was the more finite details of the game. So I took a lot more time there. But look, looking at his move levels, he's got a stiff jab level 2. As you see in this big box that says level 2, it costs stamina cost modifier. It costs negative 5% stamina. That means if you had the stiff jab 1, you're going to use 5% more stamina using the stiff jab 1 versus the level 2. It says base damage modifier plus 3%. So, I mean, you can't quantifiably tell the differences between 3%, 5%, but the game is factoring those things. So you don't really necessarily need to build that in your mind, but the game is factoring those things. So if you were to look at Robbie Lawler, and you were to look for strikes that do the most damage, obviously his lead heavy hook level 4, it has a negative 13 stamina cost. That's something I'm going to talk about in the second half of this video a lot, is how little stamina these higher level move level strikes, these higher level strikes use than the typical strikes that you see. So negative 13% body stamina. The stamina cost. That doesn't sound substantial, but it's a little under 15%. If you're using less than 15% for a hook and somebody's throwing hooks that are using that same 50%, you'll start to notice a difference incrementally. And it does plus 12% damage. So not only does his hand stats favor punches, his modifier also favors punches. So we're looking at the lead hook there. That's a level 4. He's got a level 3 elbow. It's good. It's a good level 3 elbow. It's better to have that as a level 3 than to have it as a level 1, throwing it out there. Back to stiff body jab level 2. His lead uppercut body, it's a level 2. It's not level 1, so you know it's still slightly better than level 1. I see a lot of people throwing a lot of body uppercuts with him. They throw a lot of body hooks, body uppercuts. You know, not the greatest. I mean, you use a little less stamina. I mean, level 4 versus a level 4 body hook versus a level 2 body hook. I mean, head hook. Excuse my cough, Willa James Huff. But a level 4 will use a lot less stamina than a level 2 to the body. And it does less damage. So, you know, that's one of the things you need to be looking at. He has a level 3 straight cross, which I think is like kind of consistent with a lot of fighters who are known for really good straights in real life. They give him a level 3. I think maybe Conor McGregor might have a level 4, but I doubt it. I'd have to look to see, but if anybody has a level 4 straight, it'd be Conor, but he has a level 3, so that means his straight punch is fast. It uses 8% less stamina, and it does 8% more damage. He also has heavy hooks. His hooks and his uppercuts are all level 4. Even his overhand, as you see right there, all level 4. So they're all using less stamina. They're all using 13% less stamina and doing 12% more damage than anybody else. Now let's go ahead and look at his kicks. A lot of his kicks are he's got level 2 on the leg kick, level 2 on the lead head kick. He doesn't have a whole bunch of versatility to his strikes, but level 2 to the body, level 3 switch to the body. It's a little too slow to use in a combination, but if you were to freeze your opponent enough to where they're just backing up, that kick would do incrementally more damage than the lead kick to the body, because it's doing 8% more damage using 8% less stamina. So if you can find a way to finesse that shit in, you're gonna do some serious damage. Now his rear roundhouse kick is a level 3. He does land rear roundhouse kicks in real life. I think he decapitated what was that guy's name? I don't even remember his name anymore. He decapitated somebody in his UFC debut as a welterweight with a rear head kick. Hit him right over the head with the head kick and posed on him. So you know, that's pretty easy to find. Level 4 for the flying knee. And that's another thing. Like, a lot of people, when they play against Robbie Lawler, they're seeing him throw flying knees and they're like, oh, he's wearing himself out throwing these big strikes. He's not. If you see him throwing a rear flying knee, he's using 13% less stamina than anybody else you've seen throw a rear flying knee. So you're looking at him going, oh, he's going to get tired throwing all them flying knees and overhands. He's not. He's gonna get tired when he starts throwing a bunch of jab straights, because his straight is taking less stamina, but his jab ain't. So if you catch a Robbie Lawler, throwing a lot of body hooks, a lot of body uppercuts, and a lot of jabs, that's the Robbie Lawler that's wearing himself out. But if he's throwing flying knees and overhands, you got another thing coming. He ain't going nowhere. Got level 3 rear knee. Flying knee to the body is a level 3. It's not a level 4 like the other one. So you can. It will use a little bit more stamina for him to use the flying knee to the body. You got that. But all right, so the combo we're looking at in this video, because I'm trying to simplify and show you little ways to finesse in things that people aren't thinking about. This is not gonna be some crazy crippling combination. What we're looking to do here is we're looking to use his level 2 jab to the body and come up top for his level 4 heavy head hook, not his level 4 overhand, which can be snuck in the same, but it does have a much larger windup. As you can tell, the windup is exponentially longer. So that head hook is really not as viable as what we're talking about. So what we're talking about here is we're talking about going low, coming up high, low, coming up high. As you can tell, there's very little windup. It comes out kind of quick. It even comes out a little bit quicker than his low uppercut. Now, low uppercut will do more damage, because the uppercut in nature does more damage, and it's a level 4 uppercut, so it's definitely gonna do a little bit more damage than the level 4 hook. And but it's not as slick. It's more obvious. Once you get hit with that once, you know it's coming. But something like slipping in a level 4 hook, it doesn't even look like it causes a hit reaction, so most people don't even think it's doing damage. And it's as you can tell, it's constantly, every single time it hits, it reddens the head just a little bit more, every time. So it is more viable than most people think. Now, for the combination that I'm gonna try on people online is to slip in the jab to the body, head hook, come back up top with the jab, come back with a head hook. Now this is gonna get blocked a lot. People are gonna block this a lot. They're gonna get their arms up, but they're gonna get their arms heavily damaged. And when their arms are heavily damaged, it leaves them open to his level 3 rear head kick. So the higher damage they take on their arms, the more obvious this head kick will do more damage. So over time, I want to land this on your head as much as possible, but it's acceptable to land it on your arms, because it's gonna make it to where you can't block the head kick. It's gonna make it to where that head kick is just coming right over your arms because of the damage you've taken. So that's the combination. Now, obviously there are a lot of options. Like I'm doing in the video, I'm showing you different options. I'm playing this live. You probably can't tell because I'm talking of a pretty good bit, but this is all in real time. So you know, that was one of the viable options, one of the less practical, maybe harder to predict too, because you're coming high low. But if the kick to the leg doesn't land, you're gonna get hit with something on the counter. So there's almost more security in doing that, going low, high, body kick, or low hook, body kick, and then building off of that, because you can build land straight like that, something real flexible like that. But for the video that I'm trying to make is to simplify and to show you that the simplified method works, and it will over time use less stamina and not cripple you in the long run. Now, if you do get that philosophy down and you're able to successfully utilize less and use a simple flowing combination like this more frequently, then you will open yourself up for later to flex on your opponent. Like I like to say, you will get a chance to hit him with something that he's not expecting to be hit with, like that. How I flipped him inside out, bent him back, and then hit him with a leg kick to stop him in his place. That's something you're gonna do in a later scenario. So, but this particular video, once I take this, I'm gonna take it online for you, but once I take this online, it's gonna be to land the simplified version. Now here we go, I'm gonna show you that again. Show you that little flip to the inside again. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah, you know, that type of shit. Bow, bow. Hit him with that. Flip to the inside. Head kick. Wham. Nothing he could do about it. He was caught in that hit. He could have blocked it, but he was in a hit reaction. So we can go boom, boom, boom. Hit the leg. All right, cool. Next rip to the body. Boom. Head kick. Look at it. Coming out beautifully. Bow, bow, bow. And what was really sneaky, what's a really good one, if you're gonna do a high level combination with that particular series, is to go jab, hook, body kick. I'm fucking up. Jab, hook, body kick straight, and then come up with the head kick, because the head kick's gonna hit him right after the straight. And if a person doesn't block that series online, it's because they didn't react fast enough. Oh, body hurting. Come on, Thompson, get it together. Get it together. Oh shit. He went down before the hook, because the straight, once again, is a level 3. It does damage. It doesn't look like it, but it does damage. See how I flipped him inside out and stopped him from fading too far away. That's the type of shit that flusters people. That's the type of shit that when people get hit with it, they get flustered. They're like, God damn, I just got flexed on. Like, they get flustered. But that's what we're looking for. We're looking for this to come up over the top, sneak that hook in. Damn, every time. It's because his health is so low. Every time it hits him, it's freezing him. But we're looking at the options. Like there's a lot of options, like simple shit like that, like slipping the hook in behind the punch. But that body jab, I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later in the second half of the video. I will talk about that as it's going on, what you're looking for to know that this hook is in security. Now, the hook will land if your opponent is stationary when the jab to the body lands. If they're not already walking, throw the hook. If they're walking, don't even waste your time, because they're gonna walk away. So you have a better chance of throwing the jab twice if you see your opponent. If your opponent's already walking as the hook hits, throw the jab twice to the body, come on top of the hook. Boom, 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 boom. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for the hook to land when they're stationary, because if it does, it's gonna confirm this. It's gonna confirm the hook. If the jab lands when they're stationary, the hook is confirmed. It's basically free unless they can block it, obviously, because you can block just about anything, but it's a little bit more free than usual, put it like that. Ooh, yeah, that's one of the acceptable combinations you can run off that shit. Yuck. That's one of the more stylish. It's one of the more stylish combinations you can run off of building like this, because in essence you want to build in directions that use less stamina for you. So that's in essence what the point I'm trying to make with this video, is that the objective is to slip in punches that will use less stamina for you and allow you to combo the shit out of your opponent. So on to the second half. We're gonna jump online and go. All right, so we're at the online section of this video. Like I said, I was gonna take this onto ranked. I'm going to look to use that combination, and I'm going to look to use it as a pretense to set up other things. You know, I'm going to look to do some things to my opponent based around what we're looking at with that jab to the body, come up top of the hook to use less stamina and land a high damage strike that's a little undetected. So we're gonna use it, and we're gonna see what we can do. We're gonna look to see if we can do some cool shit. We fighting Tyron Woodley out at welterweight with Robbie Lawler. Tyron Woodley's another character who who you can use very specifically because he has a very specific set of strikes. Now, he doesn't have the extreme level 4s to his hooks and his uppercuts, but I do have a combination that I like to use if I'm Tyron Woodley that opens up similar opportunities off of the same thing, all confirming off that body jab. Because a lot of people who have that stiff body jab, I think is what the animation is called, or what the strike is called when you pick it for a character, it's called stiff body jab. I like to use that. I like to use that with these heavier punching wrestlers to get their hooks and their uppercuts in. It's just so much easier than trying to fight to land the hooks and uppercuts in practical situations. You know, like you see somebody circling, throw a hook, hell no. Those power uppercuts, those power hooks, they're gonna miss in situations that you would think they would land in. I mean, not really think they would, but when you have the distance for them to land, they're more often than not gonna miss. So we're gonna look to build off that same series of techniques I was talking about. Look at him, he's blowing his wide because he's just doing things. He's just throwing stuff and things and looking to parry high, to anything. Boom, I slipped that hook in there again. The point I'm trying to make is that you can build off that. How I'm slipping that hook in off that jab to the body. I'm just gonna build off it. I'm a slow burn. See, sneaking it in. I'm using very little stamina to sneak it in too. Look at that shit. Look at that. Look at how easy I opened him up and slipped that in because he's not expecting the hook. It's going in undetected. It's fast. It does a lot of damage, and it's basically using no stamina for me. Going in undetected. It's like going in under the blinders. Like, he thinks he's just getting smacked by Robbie Lawler, but he's not. He's getting smacked by the statistics. He's getting smacked by being hit by the right shots for the right moment to create the right opportunity. It took very little effort. All I did was squeeze that jab, throw that hook behind the jab, and bridge combos off of that. And because I kept mixing up high-low, he just didn't know what was coming and basically gave up. But like I said, man, in the opening section, the opening section might have went long, but the point was I was trying to get you here. I was trying to get you here to show you that that's a way to viably build combinations. It's a way to build your combinations to exhibit the strikes that will use less stamina and will be undetected, because a lot of people use things that you can predict: jab, straight hook, jab, straight leg kick, whatever. You know, it's all things that you will see 1,000 times. And a lot of times in this game, you see things over and over that don't even make logical sense, but you have to respect them and react to them accordingly. You see the body kick, lead body kick, rear uppercut. That's something that you wouldn't typically see, but you have to react to it accordingly. Now, if that same thing was done by a character who had a level 3 lead body kick and a level 4 uppercut, the effects are exponentially greater. But all I wanted to show you in this video is that you can viably build a combination off of your move levels. Use that to land successfully and build from there. Like, that's the jumping off point. I think I even hit him. Let's check the replay. I think the last strike that even hit him was the hook. Yeah, so I threw the hook again. I threw jab to the body, rear hook, lead body kick, rear hook. That was the one that finished him. Or it might have even been all of that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna have to go back and look at the video myself whenever I rewatch it, but I built off the jab to the body, rear hook level 4, using barely any stamina. Barely any stamina throughout the fight. Like, and I was pressuring hard. Look how many strikes I threw. Let me take a look. Threw 45 strikes in 2 minutes. Landed 32. All basically undetected. And I used absolutely no stamina. When I finished him, he had less than 5%. He had, what, 3% stamina left when I finished him? I was almost full when the finishing shot hit him, because I wasn't using stamina on the combination. I wasn't just going hook, 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 or uppercut, 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 or jab, body kick, rear uppercut, lead uppercut, rear head kick, you know, building dumb shit. Like if you had level 4s for all those, then hell, you can do anything you want. Yeah, go to the create player, give him all level 5 strikes and watch how much more flexible his combinations are and how little stamina he uses. That's why through career, if you play career and you give all your strikes, you bump all your strikes up to level 5, don't even give spinning this, spinning that. Just give yourself the core strikes level 5 and watch how flexible your combinations are, and watch how easy you can fold the AI and bend the computer to your will, because you're using strikes that do more damage, use less stamina, and you can basically chain them together for longer. Tie that with a marathoner or fluidity perk and a character with high stamina and good punch and kick speed. Those statistics, like that cellular microscopic level of detail that each individual character has, that you just have to find. You have to go in and specifically find and then tailor your attack to that style. That makes a hell of a difference. But like I said, the video was just to show that that was a viable way to play, a viable way to think about your characters, and to give you more perspective and a more detailed look into who each individual fighter is and can be, and the type of things they can do to you in a short amount of times. Robbie Lawler can clearly blow your doors off with hooks and uppercuts in round 1. That's Robbie Lawler. Somebody else like Edson Barbosa might be able to take you out with leg kicks in 1 round. You just got to look at the stats. You got to look at the stats, and you got to build your combos based around that, and build your combos in a way that will put you in more successful positions for longer amounts of time. That sounds like a lot. Sounds like a lot of words, but until next time, it's been Bryant, the Apex Gamer Channel. Check you out on the next video, whenever the fuck that is, because I'm not really on a schedule and I upload whenever the fuck I choose to. Yeah. See you later, guys.